Good morning. Happy Monday. For most of us in Texas, it's not such a happy Monday. It is a very sad Monday. If you're not from Texas, you might not understand how large Texas is, first of all, how much we're being affected by the flooding, even though we're not near it. For example, I live about 5 hours northeast of the flooding, but I have friends and family all in that area. We're having a retreat in that area. In fact, if you were planning on coming to the writers' retreat this coming weekend, we've canceled that event. However, our Create Your Victory channel event for the following weekend, the 18th through the 20th, is still happening. As long as the weather remains on the up and up, which it is at this moment. Still kind of raining and things like that there, and so we've decided to go ahead and cancel this weekend, but we're keeping the Create Your Victory channel on the books for now. We have people registered, and we're excited about the event, of course, but we will stay tuned and see what the weather does. Hopefully, this will be the end of the rain this weekend or this week, and then we'll be able to dry up and get back to regularly scheduled programming, really, right? But unfortunately, for many, it's not going to be that. Over this morning, I think I've heard that 82 lives were lost. Several of those, I think over 20 children at this point, and there's still children missing. I said I was going to get through this video without crying, and I'm going to try really hard. If you're watching live, tell me if you're from Texas or not. Tell me where you live. If you're in Texas, just tell me your city. If you're not in Texas, let me know what state you're in. Again, like I said, I'm from San Antonio originally, but I live 5 hours north of there now. And so the hill country's to the west of San Antonio, northwest of San Antonio. And it just affects a lot of friends and family that I know. And of course, whose heart wouldn't be affected by the tremendous loss, right? We experienced it in North Carolina, South Carolina with Hurricane Helene recently. And then now we're experiencing it with this. And it is the result of a tropical storm that just moved in over Mexico and then up through Texas and really dumped a large amount of water in a very short amount of time. And so it's just heartbreaking. Thanks for joining me from Tennessee, Joan. I know your heart is in Texas as well. And so I know that your heart is grieving over this morning. And the more empathetic that we are, the more this can weigh on us. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on here today and remind you that you do matter. Your grief matters, your feelings matter. But I want to give you some ways, especially if you're distanced from this and you're still feeling it, right? Because a lot of times, I've checked in with everybody I know. Everybody's fine. Hey, Laura, I know you. I know where you are, and I know that you're an empath. I know that you feel the feelings, and so I know that it's heavy, right? It's really heavy. It's been heavy all weekend. I saw a friend yesterday at church who teaches third graders. She just retired actually from teaching over 30 years with third graders, which is that age group of these young girls that are still missing. And she could barely say anything without tearing up, and it's just truly heartbreaking. And so how do we feel the feelings and still function, right? We still have lives to live. We still have jobs to do. We still have a calling from God to answer and a mission to stay on, right? We still have all of this. And so how do we do that? So I'm going to give you some practical ways you can do that. But I want you to hear my heart. It is okay to grieve. It is okay to feel these feelings. What we don't want to do, especially for those who I know everybody in my immediate circle is good. I've checked with my dad who lives by a lake. I've checked with the retreat host who is right there on the river. I've checked with so many people and my peeps are okay. But my heart breaks for the ones that aren't, right? But there's nothing that I can do from this distance other than pray and serve and donate and things like that. So I'm going to give you 3 practical ways, and then I'm going to give you some kind of funny things that my mom always taught me as a kid. So stay tuned to the end for that. Okay. So the number 1 is I want you to limit your news intake. And from someone who teaches on social media on the regular, this is hard because a lot of our news comes from social media these days, right? I could sit today for hours and just scroll through socials, and most of my socials are going to be Texas news stories and things from friends and family because I'm from Texas and my friends and family are so spread out. That's all that's showing up on my feed lately, right? And I could sit and I could read and I could just be heartbroken again and again and again and again. But is that what God called me to do? Is that what he wants me to do today? No, he's given me an assignment. I've got writers retreat boxes going out the door. I've got a retreat coming up in 2 weeks now. I've got uh, clients I need to work on their projects, coach them. I've got work to be done that I've been called to do. I haven't been called to sit in front of the television or in front of a screen and scroll and just be sad, even though I can feel sad. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's tracking with you. Just type in tracking with you. Let me know if that makes sense, if that's resonating. Okay, so what we can do instead is keep our thoughts. Isaiah tells us this: you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you, you being the Lord. So we need to focus, shift our minds, which, this is not meant to be a plug for this, but this is exactly what the Create Your Victory channel is about, right? It's about changing the channel in our minds. And so that's what we need to be doing. We don't need to sit and just constantly be looking at these images and it is tragic and we need to stay updated. That's why I watched the news first thing this morning. I got my update for today. Seeing where we're at. I checked the weather. I checked on the retreat that was supposed to be this weekend. We made a decision to cancel it. I got my updates. I did my checks, and now it's time to get to work, right? And to switch my mind and to go to God and say, okay, what do you have for me today? What are the things that you've called me to do? What's my mission for today? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to give yourself permission to check in, get an update, and then turn it off. The constant exposure just to the images alone it literally will change your energy and your being. And so I want you to turn it off. And maybe before you turn it off, and this may sound goofy and people may come at me for this, maybe you go watch a cat video, right? Maybe you go watch a funny dog video, something that is going to just change your visual mind for a moment. Maybe you sit in meditation and you envision the Lord and those little girls welcome in his arms. Maybe you see how that's a different image than me thinking of them clinging to trees, right? Which is just heartbreaking. But when we can turn it around and say, oh, they're in the presence of the Lord that they were there learning about this weekend. There's so many people, not just the children. I don't want to just focus on the little girls that were at that one camp because there's so many lives lost. 82 and only I think about 25 of those were children, and so the other 60 were adults, were someone's parents and siblings and family members, also sons and daughters, right, of people. And so I don't want to not focus on those people, but I just think of just changing the image, okay? Just change that image in your mind and see how differently you feel about that, right? It's just imagining them in Jesus's presence has changed the way I feel right now, okay? So, it's tough, you guys. It is so tough. Yeah, Laura says she has to distance and discern with social media, especially with news like that. Yeah, because we absorb it, right? Especially as empaths, we feel all that pain, and it can be paralyzing. It truly can be paralyzing. Joan says she's tracking with me. Thank you. Thank you for those who aren't commenting, who are here also watching live. I appreciate you being live. Be sure to like and subscribe the channel so you can catch more of it as well. Okay, the second thing I want you to do is to focus on what you can actually do, right? Because when everything feels out of control, and right now so much does, right? I mean, it's crazy town, right? And Texas is huge. For those of you who don't know how big Texas is, like Google it, compare it to your state and just see how large Texas actually is. There's a lot of ground that was destroyed, a lot of, and I mean that by saying a lot of It was a large area impacted, a large area of Texas impacted, and it continues, right? It's continu Houston has historically flooded. I believe that they're going to be getting some, but it was in Austin and San Antonio. I mean, it's just been everywhere, right? And so, what can we do? What can we do from where we live? Especially if you don't live in Texas, what can you do? Well, first of all, you can always pray. Always pray. If you don't know how to pray, if you don't know what to say, pray for the heaviness on your heart. Say, God, my heart just feels heavy. I don't know what to say, Lord. I don't. But I'm trusting that you're going to help these first responders. You're going to help the people still there. You're going to help these people that their family members are still missing. Um, Pray for that, right? Pray for the strength of that area. Pray for the strength of the people there sorting through um, the debris, smelling the smell. I mean, it's hot in Texas. It's hot. Let me see. I don't have that specific like Kerrville pulled up on my thing, but I have Comfort, and it's hot. You guys, it's humid and it's hot. Today, right now in Comfort, it's only 78. Thank goodness. But it's hot in Texas. I mean, we're in where I live, we're already in 86 degrees. You know, it's heating up fast. And it will get very hot and very humid. They're still under a flood watch. It's hot and humid, right? So what can we do from where we sit in our air conditioner home 5 hours away or 12 hours away or 13 hours away, right? What can we do? We can pray. We can donate, right? We can donate supplies, we can donate resources. Here's what I want to caution you about donating. Be sure you know who you're donating to, right? A lot of people come out of the woodworks. I couldn't believe how many I saw over the weekend already. All these no-name companies, which there's nothing against. I'm probably a no-name company to a lot of people. But there's a lot of companies coming up. We're selling this, we're selling that. We're all proceeds, some proceeds, blah, 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 right? Go with who you actually know. I'm currently not collecting any donations or resources for this because I have a friend in San Antonio who is. If you want to give, I will connect you with him. He is boots on the ground there. He's from San Antonio, but he was out there serving yesterday. He will continue to do so. And that is who I trust to donate to because I know that he will be a good resource, a good steward of any donations that are given to him. And that's what you need to be doing. Don't get scammed during this time because it can happen, okay? The other thing, so pray, donate to a reliable source, and send a note of encouragement. It does not hurt to send a note of encouragement. Think about it. You could go on to, if you're on social media and you're just sucked into social media, go to some of the pages. Go to the Kerrville pages, the Kerr County News, Comfort. You go to Riven Rock Ranch page and give Karen a little love note. I mean, she's hosting an event for us. She was supposed to be hosting an event this week, but we've moved it to next week. She's got debris all over her property. She was flooded in. She lost power. All the things. Just send her a little note of encouragement. Those kind of things go a long way to sweeten something that's just so devastating, right? So send a little note of encouragement. Maybe you just need to put action. Yeah, right? You're a mover. You're a doer, right? Go in your local area and serve. Where can you serve in your local area? Because there's people in need in your local area every single day, right? It doesn't have to be that a catastrophic storm came through in those people's lives in your area. There's a catastrophic storm that came through, I'm sure, at some point, right? And there's people in need in your area. So you can go serve in your local area, and that will put action behind the emotion that you're feeling, right? So a little bit of actions will really help change. I always say motion changes your emotion. So if you can get moving, it will change your emotion and it will help you. So let me give you a couple of funny things that I'm going to give them to you at halftime here because I have one more to give you next. But my mom always said to me, and I know some of you Texans will appreciate this kind of advice because I'm sure your mom gave you the same advice. It's a kind of a Southern thing, right? But it's a get up, wash your face, quit crying. And there's something about the action of getting up and washing your face and getting anew, right? And so I want to take it a step further. I got up, I washed my face. Let me say, I've had a good cry over what's happening. It is very tragic, right? But I can't stay there. So I got up, I washed my face. I actually, put my hair in kind of a funky, fun, like, I chose to bring joy, right, to me, to my physical body by washing my face, putting my hair in a fun hairdo, putting on lipstick, right? My grandma always said, If you don't feel good, put on some lipstick, right? Don't leave the house without it." And I actually chose today also to wear a necklace that I recently, got custom made by my favorite jewelry designer, um, C. Harris Designs in Texas. So, custom made jewelry I put on this morning. I have nowhere to go except to take the dog to the vet this afternoon. Nowhere. That's what I'm doing. I'm working from home in my office, and I'm going to take the dog to the vet because unfortunately Joey has something going on with her eye. So I'm going to take her to the vet. But I chose to get dressed up to go do it. I could have not. I could have showed up here today and said, "Hey, no makeup Monday, not feeling it." Because honestly, I wasn't feeling it, right? I wasn't. Who's feeling like getting dressed up today? Probably no one. We're all so heavy-hearted. But you know what? The act of doing it, the act it's changes your emotion, I'm telling you. They sound silly, and someone in the midst of this, some grieving parent somewhere could be like, "Lipstick is not gonna help me, lady," and I get it. It's not. I'm not minimizing the pain that anyone is going through that is in, um, harm's way, who was affected greatly by this. I'm not minimizing that. But I'm saying those of us who are from a distance watching it, we can't stay stuck. The world still needs us to do what God has called us to do. Okay, let's see. We got some comments. Joan says we can join our voices with those who are praying for all of the great things. Exactly. Join in on the prayer. Shelly says my parents are 45 minutes southwest of Kerrville and they're flooded too. Oh, Shelly. It was such a huge area of flooding. It spans from San Angelo to Austin, which is a considerable amount of riverbed. Absolutely. And your sister lives out there somewhere too, right, Shelly? So that's just heartbreaking that your family, and see how connected we all are. Like, I met Shelly last year at our beach retreat. She was one of our authors who did book signings with us, and I've gotten to know her sister and her amazing cupcake business, and um, we're all connected. And so now my heart, I just feel that heaviness for Shelly and the pain that the fear that she must have felt, right, when all of this came through. And we have to say, okay, I can pray now. Specifically, I know what to pray for Shelly and her parents and her family, but we can't stay stuck. We can't stay stuck and allow tragedy to keep us stuck, especially when we're far from it. When we're removed from it, we can't. It's going to take the people affected greatly a long time to grieve, right? Grief never ends, in my opinion. It's just a matter of how it changes and how it changes us. And in this, it's going to be around for a very long time. We're going to feel the after effects for this for a very long time. Historic um, places where, you may not even know anyone. And you may be like, "Oh, I'm going to travel through Texas 10 years from now." And you'll be like, "Oh, there's a sign here that says this historic." I mean, you're going to read about it, right? You're going to know that this historic place was ruined in the flood of 2025. You're going to know that. History, it has made its mark, right? Okay, the last thing I want to tell you to do, besides all the silly things of fluffing your hair and putting on lipstick, I'm going to just recap real quick. One, focus, limit your news, focus on God instead, focus on worship, focus on His Word. And the second is focusing on the things that you can physically do, which you could be praying, you could be donating, you could be sending notes of encouragement, or you could be serving in your local community. Just be focusing on what you can actually do and don't focus on the things that are out of your control. The last thing I want to tell you to do is to stay connected. Thank you for being here today. You chose to stay connected to me, and that means the world to me. It truly means the world to me. I need you as much as you need me, right? You help me remember that I matter, while I help you remember that you matter. We truly need each other. We need to stay connected. We need to voice the grief that we're feeling right now. So, um, you know, in isolation, I always picture, and I think I shared it this past week, the lion chasing the zebra and the pack of zebras in the back and the little zebras out front, isolated. and the lion's about to devour him. And that's the image I think about when I think about isolation. Don't allow yourself to be the zebra out front. Stay in your pack, right? Find your pack, stay in your pack. Um, Even if it's just a quick call to someone and to check in. I'm going to check in with my sister today. We didn't have a chance to talk over the weekend. I had company in town for the 4th of July weekend. And so I didn't have a chance to really check in with her as much as I wanted to. We maybe talked for about 30 minutes. And she lives in San Antonio. She said one of the hardest things for her was there was no regularly scheduled programming, that the news stayed on 24/7. And it can be very isolating, right? You're there by yourself. This is what's happening. Now she's not by herself, but you know what I mean? Like, you've got to stay connected. So check in with your friends, even if they're not, they're an empath. Maybe they live in New Hampshire, but they're an empath. Maybe they've heard of this. Maybe they're feeling the weight of it. Just check in with them and say, hey, just checking in with you. I didn't know if you've heard about Texas and how you were feeling about it. If you want to talk about it, I'm here, right? Just giving the I'm here for you makes a difference, right? And we can't do it for everyone, but we can do it for those that are close to us, those who are truly our friends and family and our church groups. We can make a difference in the lives of those people. So stay connected. Galatians 6:2 tells us to carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Carry each other's burdens. We weren't meant to walk alone. We weren't ever meant to walk alone. And the first person we should be walking with, of course, is Christ. But then we need each other. We need each other. So just ask people, hey, how are you doing? Are you feeling the weight of this? Do you want to talk about it? Now, just like I said to limit the news, I want you to limit the rabbit holes that we can go down, right? We can stay there for a really long time talking about it and get sad and sad and sad. I could stay on this You Matter Monday episode for an hour and a half and just keep talking about it because there's a lot to talk about. Or I can empower you to go limit your news, serve, get out of your community, do something, send a note of encouragement, and reach out to someone, right? I can encourage you to take action. And so that's what I want you to do. Hi there. I got somebody new on. I see Riker. Is that the name, Riker? Thanks for watching. Tell me where you're watching from. Are you in Texas? Were you affected from this? So thanks for being here. Okay, that's all I have for you today. So be sure to like and subscribe. If you're just joining, rewatch the video, get those practical tips to stay positive. Make sure, whereabouts in Texas are you? Were you affected? I see your comment there. As I take a moment of break, I'm going to introduce you to Happy Pop. This is not a sponsored ad, but this is a new drink I recently found, and I love it. And I love that it's called Happy Pop. It is actually a tropical blend of juices and apple cider vinegar and all this fun stuff. And it truly makes you feel happy. So I'm having my Happy Pop. I put my hair up in a fun thing, put some lipstick on, got dressed, and I'm going to get my butt to work. So I hope you will do the same thing. So get to work. Oh, you're right here in Tyler too. Good. I hope you weren't. I don't know who you are, so maybe your name is not showing up. If I'm supposed to know you, forgive me. But you're right here in Tyler where we are. So welcome to You Matter Monday, because you matter. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I truly pray that while our hearts are heavy, oh, hey, Aaron, it's Aaron. Hey, while your hearts are truly heavy over all that's happening here in Texas, I pray that you will take my tips to heart, that you will take some action, that you will reach out, you encourage people, you will donate where you can, all of the things. And if you really need some help learning how to change that channel in your mind, and if you're one of those people that can get depressed easily or go down that rabbit hole, I pray that you will spend some time praying about joining me at my Create Your Victory channel retreat next weekend. We're going to make sure it's safe before, everybody's registering, and I've been told the roads are clear, and we've waited a week. We've canceled this week's retreat. It'll be a whole week from now. So we're almost 2 weeks out, really, because it's only Monday. So what is today? Today's the 7th. So that retreat's the 18th through the 20th. So we're 11 days out. So it will be, oh, thank you, Shelly. Thank you so much. It will be an amazing time to focus on your victory channel and learn how to constantly be creating that in your own life, capturing the goodness of God so that that's the things that you can focus on today. And so I'm going to jump off. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time with God. I'm going to go through my victory channel and just read, because see, I've written some of the victories. I'm going to go through and read some of the things that I know that God's done in my life. And that's going to help me stay focused on him and his power and what he's done. And so if you want to learn how to do that, join us on the 18th. I'll put let me see, I have a link here somewhere. There's the link there on the screen. You can join me. I would love to have you. And you'll be right there where all of this, not in the heart of it, but it's in Comfort. So it's not too far from Kerrville. And you'll be able to be on the property where Karen has experienced some of this, and you'll be able to see what, it'll just be an amazing time to be there. I feel like it'll be a very spirit-filled time. And so I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. So if you haven't watched the tips, rewatch this, watch the tips, and spend some time. Don't ignore the grief that you're feeling. Don't ignore the heavy heart, but move through it, right? Move through the grief. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you for being here all the way from Tennessee, Joan, and anyone who watches the replay. Thanks. Let me know in the comments over on YouTube. Thank you, Joan. She says, good word of encouragement. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. Shelly says, thanks for the advice. Always motivational. Laura says, thanks for sharing my heart. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. As empaths, I know some of you are, really move through this with God and see what he's telling you to do to take action. Okay. All right. That's all I've got for you. Take care. Remember that you matter.